first reading today, we hear from our first reading from Ecclesiastes, and we hear from this man called Qoheleth. Very good job pronouncing that name, by the way. That's a very tough name to pronounce, Qoheleth. And he talks about vanities of vanities, vanities of vanities, and that's all he talks about throughout the entire book that he writes. It's this vanity of vanities. And when he talks about vanity, the word that he's using actually means like air or breath. And he talks about trying to grasp that air. Have you ever tried to grasp that air and try to capture it? We can capture it in a bag, right? But can we actually hold it in our hands? Can we try to grab it? And sometimes that's what it is in the world we live in. There's some things we want to hold on so tight, but we can't hold on to them. All right? And what he's noticing also is that every day seems to be the same thing. Every day the sun seems to go up, rise in the east, and comes down where? In the west. And the next day, where does it rise from? East. And where does it set down again? And the next day? Where does it fall down again? And then he also notices something else. So that's really repetitive. It's like every day is the same. What is going on? I can't hold on to anything. Every day is the same. And then also he talks, I don't know if you noticed what he talked about with the rivers and the seas, but the rivers just keep flowing and emptying out into the seas. But the seas are never full. The river keeps going, and the sea is never full. And so Qoheleth, he sees this, and this just makes him very sad, because every day is just the same. He can't hold on to anything and keep it for himself. It just makes him very sad. Of course, he was writing the time before Jesus. What was really awesome about Jesus is that he is the Son of God. And as the Son of God, he becomes incarnate and lives among us. So the God who loves us so much enters into our time to show us how much he truly loves us. Qoheleth, I often wonder if he knew about Jesus Christ, if he knew about the love of God, the love that God had for him, if he'd have a different outlook, to know that God loves us so much that he came to be here with us, to live with us, to experience us, to know our hurt, to know our pain, to know our love. He wants to know everything about us. And I think that's what Herod couldn't understand either, because Herod in our gospel wants to know who this man Jesus is. He thinks it's probably John the Baptist, whom he beheaded a while back ago, chopped off his head. And so he was scared that this might be John the Baptist to come back to haunt him again. Other people told him it might be Elijah, which was another famous prophet in the Old Testament, coming back. And so it really concerned Herod that someone might be coming to take his place, his kingdom. And Herod couldn't realize that this was the Son of God, the God who loves us so greatly, has come down to visit with us today. And he comes down today at this altar. He's with us every day. He gives of his body and blood for us, to nourish us, to help us grow in our faith, to grow closer to him. And all we have to do is be at this altar or look at his cross to see that love that he has for us. So yes, while it may seem like Qoheleth says that every day seems to be the same. The sun rises in the east, sets in the west, the rivers keep flowing, and the seas never seem to fill up. But one thing we forget is God's love for us is also constant, and God loves us each and every day. And we must never forget that love he has for us, his concern that he shows for us here at this crucifix and at this altar.
Hello, OLPH. My name is Mary Lynn Januszewski, and I'm the Director of Finance and Operations at Our Lady of Perpetual Help Parish in Glenview, Illinois. And this message comes to you with heartfelt gratitude and thanks for your ongoing generosity and support of OLPH Parish. This overwhelming generosity allows us to continue to serve and to minister to the parish community in so many different ways. So thank you, OLPH, for all you do. You are much appreciated.